Well, happy Sunday, everybody. This is a layout update, I don't know, 17 probably, 23rd of July, 2023. Been really busy this week. I haven't made a video in probably 7 or 8 days. I tried to do a short the other night, but I don't know, I was having issues and I did it like 3 times. I'm like, I wasted too much time for this. I just won't do it. So let's get into this. So here's Luther Yard looking west. You have the yard lead right down the middle of the screen here, main line on the right. These 2 tracks on the far left are new. These are tracks 6 and 7, and let's follow them down. Each one's about 23 feet long, so I can get about what? 46 40-foot cars in each one, roughly. So that increases my yard capacity to about 170 or something like that. So I haven't decided for names for those, but they're stub in tracks. They'll probably just be 6 and 7, which allows track 5, which is right in the middle of your screen, to be the thoroughfare. So locomotives coming into the facilities and to the roundhouse have a clear avenue of approach and access to both yard leads. So when I was, I wondered why having that piece of track. That's funny. So when I was putting these track 6 and 7 in, I looked down, and when I cut down the legs and resized everything to make it match the section there on the left, I guess I flexed the middle and caused some damage here. I don't know if you can see this too well, but like right here, you can see where it kind of bubbled up, moved the track a little bit. So I'm just gonna scrape all that up and I'll reballast. So it should be no big deal. Same thing happened to the main line right here. Took a hit. Everything else looked good. Oh, sorry, went a little fast there. And then the same thing happened down here on this track here. This is the powerhouse lead. You can kind of see it bowing up right here. So I'll take a look at that. I'll double check everything again tomorrow, but everything looked really good. So tomorrow I will adjust the casters on this side of the yard section, I guess. I don't know, I got the peninsula. I can't call it 2 peninsulas. So the yard section, I guess, each one has adjustable casters on the bottom. So I'll raise these up just a hair and level everything out. I'll clean up a little bit more also. I'm really liking the way this is looking from this angle. I think that looks pretty good. Almost makes me want to paint the ceiling blue. Almost. That's a hot mess right there. Come around. All right, so this is the other end of 6 and 7. I got a powerhouse there and a machine shop. The track right here is going to take a couple cars of coal for the powerhouse there on the left. I think that's going to look good. So here you have right away here. This is part of one extension that comes off the number 1 track in the yard. That will circle around and then come to these crossovers here at RS Tower, and that'll turn into main 2. So just imagine, if you will, this M1 is sitting on main 2, ready to come in the yard. They'll get lined up by the tower and just come around. I think it'll be cool. So I got all this cut out. I think it's looking pretty decent. I got the yard section and this section over here mated up. I got them screwed in. I'll put some bolts in there tomorrow and then start working with the level. I drew the lines for the track for this curve, and I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to redo it. Basically, I'm going to push the track about 6 inches out towards the middle, so they'll be out about right in here. Gives me a little bit better area to work with. My river was supposed to come around here, but I had some problems with that, so I was like, this is enough. There is, I don't even know, 24, 28 feet of river that's going to be here, so I can stop it right here. So I'll just come off with some foam and I'll blend it in this area a little bit better. And then the water will start here and track around by the railroad. I think it's going to look pretty cool. So I mentioned before that I had some Woodland Scenics risers here. I got this 2% grade, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut everything down 1-inch sections and stretch it out to 32 feet, which will make it a 1% grade. And at some point in the near future, the peninsula will have a top level on it. That'll be about 4.5 inches higher than the part that you see right now. And that will climb the grade. Well, the grade will climb up, go to that. There'll be a coal mine up here, decent sized yard for coal empties, coal loads. The turnaround space down there will be an Army base. I don't know, probably home of the 11th Mountain Division, notional. And maybe an airfield. I think it's going to be called Camp Price after my uncle. He was a World War II veteran. And I have an Army airfield, which will be called Vincent Army Airfield. I named that after my uncle that passed away a few years ago. Both men were huge influences in my life, so I can honor them just a little bit. I'm going to. That monstrosity is a 8-pound foam mountain. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It might just get donated to something. I don't know, like the trash can. I don't know. So I got all the cars down here on the shelf. I built another shelf underneath of Luther Yard, right there where that green piece of foam goes across. And I'm pretty happy with everything. Trying to keep everything organized as possible while dealing with chaos, and it is quite the challenge. So, and then all my lights have burned out. Probably 40-year-old fluorescent lights have never been changed, and of course they go out now. And I got a couple of shelving units over here that I built out of some old doors that, this is all Dwight stuff that's over here. So Dwight, he models the modern CB&Q and a little bit of Milwaukee Road, if I remember right. He's got a pretty good concept. He's got a Facebook page for both. I can't remember what it's called, I think. Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy fantasy page, and maybe the same thing for the Milwaukee Road. I don't know. Dwight's watching this probably, so Dwight, just leave a comment and leave links to your Facebook pages or groups or whatever they are. So I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. I'm really liking looking down here and seeing this long train. Actually, it's kind of a short train compared to what I'm usually running. But seeing them winding around, I'm really excited about painting the plywood to look like the bottom of a river, be kind of murky looking, and then pouring some epoxy in there and doing some scenery. The white piece of styrofoam up there, I just put that up there just to kind of give me an idea of how I want to do a hill back there. So it kind of looks like my intent is, you know, the railroad is going through the mountains next to a river, and there's, you know, the mountain going up the side, but, you know, I'm not going to build it all the way to the ceiling, so I'll just go up maybe, you know, 15, 18 inches, something like that. That'll hide the main line. That'll be back here behind it, and I think it'll turn out pretty well. So I'm really happy with this bridge. I built this out of a MTH Rail King O-gauge bridge. I put a lot of extra cross bracing and girders and stuff in there. Because if you know what this bridge looked like without, there's nothing in the middle at all. And nothing on top except for like a piece on the very top. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is ready to go in the future after I build the rest of it. So that bridge will go right here. So what you're looking at right here is just a 1x4 painted black and some scrap that I cut and painted a concrete looking color just to kind of give me a idea of what I could do here and allow me to do a little bit of scenery and to basically just run trains. I got this. This is my river. Painted that with watercolors. I should probably move all this stuff out of the way, but I got stuff everywhere. Try to get. I think it looks pretty good. A little bit green, a little bit murky. Got a little sheen to it. I'll pour some epoxy on that. I think it'll look pretty good. So everything in this back room looks exactly the same. I haven't done anything. I've been so busy working in the other room with the other sections and getting everything moved around. I have not done a single thing to this scene. If you have never watched any of my videos, I had a beautiful, beautiful lake poured here. And something happened with the epoxy, and it did not cure, I guess, because maybe it wasn't warm enough. I'm not quite sure, but it bubbled up, and it looked like a Coke when you poured it in a glass. I mean, it was just bubbles everywhere. And I had this scene built for like 6 months, and I got a couple of videos and a couple of run-bys on this, so go check that out. You can see how beautiful it was. And then I believe there's a series of videos of when I tore all this out, and that was heartbreaking, but it was beautiful prior to, and it's going to be beautiful again. So I'm going to make this pond scene great again. I really like that bridge. I basically copied it for the bridge on the new extension. Yeah. And I got some little river scene that I took some pictures of when I was traveling, and it'll go in the back here. Let's throw that up there to kind of give you an idea. So basically, when you look down here, you see something like that with trees on both sides. It actually kind of worked. So it'll be kind of like that. I think it'll look kind of cool. Yeah. Still got a lot of work to do back here. That whole scene is just sat there. It's just mocked up. I don't even know if that's what's going to stay. And this town over here is just temporary. It's just a mock-up till I build the buildings. And I'm a little OCD, so it takes me forever to build any buildings. And there's Grandma's house, and I don't know who lives there. It's a little lookout up here. You know, got the cop coming out the tunnel, and you got old Alex Decker up there waiting to take some train pictures. This will be bridge tower. It will control the turnouts on both sides of the bridge. This is where my Virginian, which expands up into Ohio, will basically have joint trackage with the Pennsylvania coming around. So I had to do something to get my favorite railroads all together. There's Tunnelton Army Depot. Hence the name, there's the tunnel. And here is Tunnelton. And here's Main Street. I think Main Street looks pretty good. Got a little bit of depth in the camera. Yeah. And if you watch any of my videos, just about everything is shot over here on this side. Got a scrap line going right there. Really happy with a lot of this. A lot of this was my very first scenic attempting to do any scenery. Crooked tree threw me off. Oh man, something happened to my signal here. I must have bumped it. So true story. I made a video, and I had a train sitting here, and I had this signal operate. And my friend Dwight asked me, he called me almost immediately and asked me, what did I do? How did I get that signal to do that? And what I hooked it up to and all that. And I think I broke his little heart when I told him all it was a wire underneath. I just pulled it myself and changed the signal. But it made for a pretty cool video. It was a pretty good visual effect. I really liked it. I don't know if that signal is going to stay there or not. It might. I have a tower that goes here and different signals. I just got some stuff set up for some photos and everything. I'm really happy with this scene too, Railway Express. This was just an office building or something that I painted gray because it was kind of like a yellowish tannish color, but I'm liking it. My Athearn U30Bs. One of them I custom painted, and one of them is an Athearn. I think that's the factory painted, and this is mine that I did from an undecorated unit. Well, I guess that's about it. I've rambled for 15 minutes. I appreciate you watching. I hope you watched the whole thing. If not, that's okay. I challenge you to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Dwight, leave your links down in the comments for your Facebook pages. I think everybody would enjoy it. And I think that's going to be about it. So come back here in a few days and check out my videos and see what I do next. Y'all have a great night. And for you people going to work tomorrow, you have fun with that while I'm sleeping in.